Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. Now this video is a quick reflection on a book I've recently read and this is We All Fall Down by Sarah Courtney. And this I will link Sarah's channel down below because Sarah in fact is a YouTuber and she recently published her first novel. She self-published this through the Amazon self-published service, and I will definitely link her video announcing her writing a novel in the description box. You heard me mention this book on my channel already in the past, as I filmed reading vlog when I started this book. Now I want to share some thoughts on it and maybe give you some more information, more details if you would like to actually purchase this book. Now, what is this story about? Now, I would classify this as young adult literature, and I would even classify it as the type of young adult fiction we read when we were younger and didn't know the term young adult fiction. And what I mean by that is that I remember specifically reading similar books when I was a teenager, and I had no idea what or how we, like as humans, had no idea about the term YA or young adult literature, and therefore also not really about the tropes in YA literature. And I know that those tropes or reoccurring themes are the reason a lot of people are pushed away from reading the genre. But I would still classify it as YA, but with that in the background. It's not the tropey YA that we tend to get now in mass publication, even though it has actually one of the most discussed tropes in it that a lot of people actually don't like. But this is finally a book that works with that, but I will get into that in a minute. Now this book tells the story of our main protagonist, Thea. Thea has to deal with some things in her life that are not really pleasant. She recently lost her mother, or recently, well, when she was a younger girl, and is now living with her dad and her basically representation of the evil stepmother from fairy tales, stepmom, in her old house. And she doesn't really like to go to school because she is bullied there as well, alongside being tortured. I can use that word because that really is how Lily, the stepmother, is treating Thea. She doesn't really like to go to school for the bullying. She is quite, at the beginning, and it gets resolved towards the end, that there was an event at her school caused by this immense trauma that is losing a parent, and therefore for that strong reaction she showed in her class is therefore bullied. So you know a little bit about background first, but it gets resolved in bits throughout the book, which I found really, really realistic. And it was not like, here's the information, it was a slow reveal, which is one of the reasons why I like this book so much. Yeah, so she then goes to class one day and a new student shows up, Callan. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it the way Sarah wants it. Callan, I guess, yeah. And she immediately sort of fancies him and finds him really good looking. But it's not the Insta type love, it's not that trope, because it is very clear that it is an attraction to him and she is attracted to him. So again, that's what I meant with it's a realistic, not tropey YA book. They sort of start becoming friends and getting closer, and she also meets this other boy, and that's where the trope starts, or the trope. I always feel bad when I call it trope because that's such a negative word, or like has such negative ideas behind it that it's almost difficult to use the word. So yeah, but she meets this other boy, Luca, and their first meeting is not really a nice one. They don't really get along at first. She meets him because she basically helps him out of a bullying situation. And yes, so they meet and then sort of meet again and also strike this friendship, or like friendship flirting thing, and it resolves around that, but also around the family situation Taya has to deal with, which is horrific. It is just horrible what she has to go through, that, and tragedy does not shy away from Taya in this book. And yeah, you could say there's too much tragedy in it, but I don't know if you, when you say that, you don't really know someone who had to go through that many tragedies, because I never felt at any point that it was getting too much, which might be sad, but I found it not unrealistic. And Sarah always, like when I updated her on Twitter where I'm at, she always said, I'm afraid it will get too dark, and it was just actually the right amount of dark, and it's heavy. It's a very heavy book. If you are someone who needs trigger warnings, I'm usually not the type who puts that in videos, but if you want to pick up the book and you need some trigger warnings, let me know in the comments. I will reply to you with what I would put trigger warnings on it. I'm not an expert, but yeah, I can see people being triggered by that. But this book, I don't want to talk around it. It's a 5-star book. And people who know this channel know how much that means. And those people also know that I'm not giving that lightly, and I'm not giving that often to especially YA books. Now, getting into the reasons why. First of all, I really have to say that it is, for a novel she started, or the idea started when she was 13, this is not only a part of YA, but better than what I've read from like the YA that is out there now. It is so much better. It is better in character development. It is better in actually being three-dimensional real character. Even the ones you don't like feel realistic. They are very not black and white. There's always something there to explore about every character that is in here. There is no character that is just there to be there. They all have a purpose and a reason. Also, the writing is really great. And once I've picked it up, I was actually sort of expecting a light read, and that it was not a light read is something I deeply appreciated, because I think the topics discussed in this book needed to be talked about, and I'm really grateful for that. To sum it up, that would have got a 4-star book. So what was it then that ultimately, even though it's so different to what I usually pick up or usually give 5 stars to, and I know it's not perfect, it's a self-published book, of course it could benefit from a publisher getting over it and an editor, but I will reference to Sarah's video for the reasons why she didn't do that, because she purposely did not do that, and I respect that choice very much, and I'm very grateful she put it out there the way she wanted it to. Because the story is perfect, I would not have changed anything about the story. But I know it's not perfect. I know it's usually not what I give 5 stars to. But the one thing that I will cherish the story forever, and that makes it like close to The Perks of Being a Wallflower in its meaning, is that I see so much of myself in Taya. The way she reacts to certain situations, the way she has breakdowns and is suffering and gets to points where she thinks she can't go any further and has to end things now, but then is such a strong character and always stands up even though life keeps pushing her down, and in the end she stands tall no matter what. Reminded me so much of the journey I had to go through. I have similar experiences as Taya, but not the same. But it was so great seeing myself so much in a character. I was so much like Taya when I was her age, and for that I will definitely carry this book and cherish it for the rest of my life probably, and therefore I'm really grateful. And I told that to Sarah already, but Sarah, if you're watching, if you ever doubt that this book should be out there, just know that it means a lot to at least one person, and I would really like to see Taya or Taya's story in the future again. So yeah, this is a short reflection, or short, it's 40 minutes long, on this wonderful book, We All Fall Down by Sarah Courtney. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to Sarah for writing this book, and I will see you all in another video. Bye.